It's been a long time coming, but your boy is here with the update on Moonie's account. Sorry for the major delay. I wanted to release this video shortly after the first one. However, procrastination is still king around here, and I also had some things come up that put a stop to the flow of the editing of this video. So, where were we? Genshin Impact Luna 2 is ending soon. Lauma and Nefer, the premier Lunar Bloom support and carry of the new region, are here. Both 5-star Dendro Catalyst users, both incredibly beautifully designed, the latter of which is Moonie's ultimate weakness. I did talk about her insane luck with Dendro characters and their signature weapons, so we were hoping to continue this streak. Both banners have passed, and we did try to go for Nefer. However, Moonie's signature Dendro luck has seemed to have taken a small break, awarding us with a constellation for Jean. First and foremost though, I did leave you on a cliffhanger the last time, but I think it's easy to guess that she did in fact get Lauma. With her on the account, my job was mostly easy. I was aiming to make a decently working Hyper Bloom team, but first we had to take care of Lauma. Leveling her was a little challenging at first, because I couldn't quite figure out her overworld boss's mechanics, and that slowed down the process a little. But after I figured it out, we were breezing through it. Notcry is luckily very helpful on the amount of materials we can collect, so it only took me around a week or so to collect everything. That is where I started wondering about her weapon, which is the reason why I did go on the banner, hoping to get a lucky early 5-star. Alas, it was not meant to be. So in the end, I went ahead and bulldozed through the event to 1. Stock up on some Primo Gems, 2. Get the new event catalyst that is pretty good on her. My only other option would have been the new craftable, however, getting the bullets for it would have taken way longer. It took me a while of farming the new artifact domain to also realize we couldn't quite use either of the sets to their full potential, so it was back to square one, and farming Deepwood and Gilded, which actually wasn't too bad, because while Lauma took Deepwood, her new teammate Alhaitham needed some upgrades on the Gilded set. Still, artifact farming be artifact farming, and RNG is RNG at the end of the day, so while I did get some pretty good pieces, overall the builds could use another round of upgrades. The teams we ended up with were the Nuvilet Teaser team from the last video, and an Alhaitham Hyper Bloom with Lauma, who is there to buff our reactions, Xingqiu as defensive utility and Hydro application, and Kuki Shinobu for healing and Hyper Bloom trigger.
I am going to be honest here. As much fun as it was working with Moonie's account, I have had many moments where I just wanted to give up out of frustration. I spent overall around 3 to 4 hours on recording the runs for the Spiral Abyss. I admit rotations are not perfect. I did figure out some optimizations later on which helped a bit, but overall I did question myself why I thought this was a good idea. The most frustrating part was floor 12 with triple clunky, where I spent most of the recording time, to the point where I left and went on to upgrade Singcho, who I previously neglected a bit because he was mostly there for his off-field hydro application. You will not see all that though, because that just wouldn't be fun, and because I believe I did delete a 1 hour long file full of failures. Originally, I wanted to make a funny compilation with silly music and all of that, because we joked about it with Moonie, but I was too frustrated, and honestly, I already spent way too much time on the update video. So nope, no bloopers this time around. Maybe in the future. Maybe. Anyways, while we are looking at the rest of the builds, I wanted to answer the question of the video. Would Lauma make a difference? Yes. Yes, she does. We did manage to do a 6-star clear after the last video's 3-star one. In the following Abyss though, I did struggle a bit. So it does depend on enemies and teams you do have. Editing Avery here with a case in point. In the current Abyss rotation, which is beneficial for Lauma, Nefer, and Arlecchino, we did manage to do a 7-star clear. So yeah. I also didn't go full try hard because I didn't feel like going for 3 hours again, for rewards that are, in my opinion, not necessarily worth it. For now, that was our little journey on Moonie's account. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching. I hope you had a pleasant time. If you enjoyed my ramblings, please leave a like, and if you would like to stay updated with the channel, please consider subscribing. And with that, Avery out. Bye-bye.